We would probably get 400 calls on a Saturday morning. From 1977, we've been handing out surf reports to the public. I didn't have any idea of where we were going. I just wanted to live in the moment. And sometimes I think, advice is live in the moment and see where it takes you.
Yeah, let's talk about the surf report. Obviously, it's popular with us in the shop now. Instagram does well with the surf report, and we offer that service. And we've also been hassled for it over the years. It hasn't always been popular. We stick to Muizenberg now because we've had hassles from different people. But like you say, the surf report. How did the surf report start? And you always tell that story about what a surf report was back in the day.
Yeah. So when you obviously at a destination like ours, someone will phone you on a landline and say, well, how's the surf? And that would become more and more frequent. And you think, well, I can't answer this all the time. So we bought a little cassette, which was 30 seconds, and we'd do a surf report in the morning. That was in the late 70s we started it. And people would phone in and they would hear the surf report with a designated number for it. And the tape would rewind, and then another phone call would come, and we'd listen to this, and we'd see there's quite a bit of frequency in this. But the problem with it was that as it got more and more frequent, less and less people could get through because the lines would always jam, because the thing would take 30 seconds to play itself, 30 seconds to rewind itself, and then when Vodacom came onto line with cell phones, etc., there was a platform for us to upgrade to them. And there we had 60 simultaneous incoming calls we could take at a time. And they were able to monitor us time and stuff like that. And we got rewarded for it. I think the calls at the time were like R2.73, and we would get probably about 60 cents from each call. And on a Saturday morning and Sunday morning between 9 and 11, call it 8:30 to 10:30, we would probably get 400 calls on a Saturday morning and 400 calls on a Sunday morning. So I wasn't advertising this, but it was quite nice little revenue, so you can do the sums. And then obviously social media came on. You guys picked it up differently with Facebook, surf cams, Instagram, and a whole lot of different things. But it is ironic that from probably 1977 we've been handing out surf reports to the public so that's 48 years of surf reporting. Probably 50 years of surf reporting, but in the initial days it was a phone call and a yes. Some people even tell me today, I owe you something because I phoned you for a surf report, but I reversed charges. In those days, you could reverse the charge. So you picked up and said, I want to phone Lifestyle Surf Shop, reverse charge, and they'd put you through and it'd come onto my account. And so to this day, people come up to me, so I just got to tell you that I phoned a couple of times, reverse charge.
Well, they wouldn't be surfers otherwise. So that obviously 50 years, it's come through. We've been through a couple of different decades now. I remember sort of in the heydays of the Muizenberg surf industry. People might think now is the heydays, and Muizenberg is incredibly busy at the moment, but it doesn't particularly scream surfing. It's there's a lot of different coffee shops and stuff. It's a great place to come down to, but it's not that core surf sort of village that it was at one stage. I just wanted to talk about how good it was for when the girls surfing kind of came on board, and when the brands were strong, the Billabongs and the Quicks and all those kind of brands. That would have been sort of early 2000s kind of thing.
I think the girls surfing was a really big thing, and with the girls surfing also soon after that came social surfing. and the acceptance that you didn't actually have to ride a conformed short board, but you could ride a mid-length board, you could ride a wider board, the board sort of area changed quite a bit into what you could ride and what would be accepted and what would be enjoyed, etc. And so that spread the market where individually it'd be a guy in the family who surfed, and then there would be a girl in the family who surfed, and then eventually the whole thing, surfing was among the whole family, was socially accepted. Whereas I said in the very early days, surfing wasn't socially accepted. You were pretty much an outcast, and like, I don't know, my dad's son is like, what's he doing? He's in the surfing game. Why doesn't he get a formal job? Why doesn't he get something that's decent? And now, you can, an offshoot of this or something surfing's been a leader in many aspects, maybe not currently a leader, but in many aspects it's been a sort of leader.
I mean, in those days, the surf, I mean, everyone wanted to be a surfer. Internationally, everyone was wanted to dress like a surfer, wanted
Correct.
to act like a surfer, and so the brands, those big brands, were really setting the pace, and it was almost like, I mean, you could go in and you could spend a lot of money on getting your summer ranges, winter ranges, and it was such amazing product that you were getting, and everyone wanted a part of it.
Yeah, the big brands you got to owe a lot to the big brands, your Quicksilvers, Rip Curls, your Billabongs, your O'Neills. And the big thing about the big brands is they were owned by surfers at the time, and the surfers knew where to take it. But unfortunately, it kind of went, although they invested a lot of money in it and into surfing, in order to invest that, a lot of them seem to have to go outside the surf industry. And in doing that, it was the collapse of the brands as well. And so there's good and bad in it. But it was an era that surfing got an incredible injection of money and visibility and market leadership, and everyone wanted to sort of jump on it. And now it's having to kind of find its way back. And it's almost finding its way back, I think, into the roots of it. And so your older brands are rising to the top. You've got to do it in a different way. Although I would say, having said that, with a lot of social media now, you can probably do it completely differently. There's different avenues using surfing to make money where those avenues weren't available in those days.
Yeah. So, I mean, we see it in our own store here, where our own brand, Lifestyle, being 50 years old, is probably one of the oldest surf brands, well, definitely in the country, but internationally is not far off being one of the oldest surf brands. And as long as you stay, like we spoke about, core to the surfing, you actually have stayed a core brand.
Yeah.
And you actually need less of the I wouldn't say less of the stuff, but you can pick and choose what you really want from different brands now, and your own core brand is almost what is important.
Yeah, I think sort of the general public might think, well, out of surfing you make a lot of money or whatever. Well, we know that isn't the case, but you are able to make a living, and I think for the general surfer to enjoy it, he needs to support those surf stores and the authenticity of it, because it's actually his lifestyle. It's the lifestyle that you purporting. When I look at our own store here and what we represent, we require people to buy into what we're presenting, because that is the lifestyle that we see, and that's what we're presenting. And while you might be able to get a deal somewhere else or cheaper, I'm not advocating you don't, but I am in a way, is that to keep the lifestyle going, you buy into it. And so it's kind of regenerates itself And the onus on us as a store is to obviously continuously present it in its best possible fashion that we see it, because that's what we love doing. That's what served us well.
So again, heading into the 50 years now, what are you currently doing? You're in the store probably 2 or 3 times a week nowadays, just sort of getting the vibe and enjoying it. And so you are just still surfing and enjoying life?
Yeah. I've had the privilege to sort of obviously hand over to you, and that's fantastic. Love it. Got to thank you for, your involvement for the last 20 years and taking it forward. I just enjoy hanging out here because it's been so rewarding for me socially, and what we've been able to provide and what we've been able to receive. And so just the whole social vibe of it, just seeing old customers, seeing the vibe at Muizenberg, just enjoying surfing for what it is, watching generations of kids come through, generation after generation, watching like the new generation of people, their parents. It's just all encompassing, It's you realize that you're getting to the end of where you are, and your physical side doesn't allow you to be that, but don't begrudge that. Just enjoy it for what it is. Just enjoy what's coming through, and just pass on the stoke.
Could you have envisioned 50 years ago, starting this thing? I mean, what?
No, I couldn't, because I was told to go and see an accountant, and I went to the accountant, and he said, "What have you got to start?" And I said, "Well, I borrowed 500 Rand from my parents." And he said, "Well, you're not going to do it with 500 Rand. So I look back now and I think, well, that was probably good advice, but it wasn't necessarily good advice, because hard work, diligence, faithfulness to the cause, and you can probably do things, you can gain a lot on a little." So I didn't have anything idea of where we were going. I just wanted to live in the moment. And sometimes I think, advice is live in the moment and see where it takes you. Keep your eyes open. Anyone that's worked for us, and you'll know this yourself, that anyone that worked for us to this day, I'll often take aside and say, "Did you hear what that guy just said?" Gain from that, because it'll stand you in good stead. We might not be able to employ you, but others might. So it's quite a privilege to look at some, I'm not going to name the people, but some of the people have come through our store, worked for us humbly, been beneficial to us, but have gone on to be really successful, whether in other stores or in other fields, but they've had their base put in place here. And at the time, you didn't always think that, but looking back, it's quite a privilege to have had, just have had that,
Cool. Well, thanks. Congratulations on 50 years. We hope to carry it on, and at least try and make 55. We'll see where we go. Don't look too far ahead.
50 years in 1 month.
50 years of business, everyone. Tich, the original owner, here with us. Pop into the store this month and come celebrate 50 years of surfing, 50 years of lifestyle.
Come join us.